I've shopped at Home Depot hundreds of times, and I usually go to the Ryobi section or the Milwaukee section, sometimes DeWalt or Makita. But today, I found something I didn't know Home Depot sold, and this has 2 features other saws don't have. Let's go, actually 3. Before we get started, I bought this with my own money, not sponsored, and if you'd like to check out any of the tools that I show today, I'll link those in the description, the pinned comment. Of course, you can click the View Products button to shop right here on YouTube, or scan the QR code with your phone if you're watching on TV. Now, I think you'll be surprised by this one. I started out in construction, and one of the tool brands we used a lot was Hilti, especially their hammer drills and some other specialty tools. This is for woodworkers. This is the new, or at least new to me, Hilti track saw. Now, I didn't know Hilti made a track saw until just a couple of months ago, and I did not know that Home Depot was even selling these until a couple of days ago. We're gonna put this through the paces. We're gonna look at the features. We're also gonna find out how well it cuts on hardwood, plywood, that sort of thing, and we'll talk about the special features that this has that other saws just don't, or at least most. Now, there's a few things I gotta find out about this saw. First, will it dethrone one of the Mount Rushmores of track saws? So we got Festool, we got Makita, we got some others up there that have really set the bar high. Can Hilti compete with them? And also, will these 3 features that are on this saw actually matter? We're gonna find out. First off, it comes in a really nice box to keep it stored in, keep it safe. I like keeping my stuff in boxes. I think it's just a good way to protect them. And if you're transporting them, it just makes sense. This box is fairly nice. I equate it to probably the Bosch style boxes or Makita boxes, not Mac Track, but the Makita track saw boxes. Even Festool Sustainers, it's kind of that similar style. I think that Milwaukee has all of them beat with the pack out. It's just more robust and rugged, but the box itself is nice. Now, when you open it up, you will see a plastic insert. I actually prefer the foam inserts, but this one's okay too. One thing I was kind of confused by is it doesn't really hold the batteries all that great. I've got a bigger battery and a smaller battery that I bought with these, and it does hold the bigger battery, but the smaller battery just kind of flops around in there, and there's no place to put the charger, which is also sold separately. And that's one little quip I have with Hilti so far, is they don't really have a combo kit where you can buy a battery, charger, and the saw. With the track, you kind of have to piece it all together yourself. I'll link to everything in the description where I got it. But overall, it's a box. Now, I went ahead and picked up 2 batteries because I was a little confused at Hilti's battery platforms. They're not like Milwaukee, Ryobi, DeWalt, Makita, any other battery platform where there's just an amp hour stamped on the side of the battery, which would make perfect sense. These don't have that, so you don't really know, or I didn't really understand what kind of batteries I was getting. But basically, I bought a 4 amp hour battery, a little less than that, but we'll call it 4 amp hour, and a 9 amp hour battery. This 4 amp hour is the one they recommend this size and up to use with this saw, but I went ahead and picked up a bigger one just in case. I also picked up a charger. They have a couple of different style chargers, but this one is the basically fast charger, and so that's why I got it. Again, you can't find amp hour stamped anywhere on the battery. You actually have to look in the fine print to see what amp hour you have. I'm sure it's listed in the specs somewhere, but it would really be nice if it was just on the outside like everybody else. Another thing about the batteries, I was looking how I could check how much charge I had. I was pushing the front, the little Bluetooth looking symbol. Couldn't figure it out. I finally pushed down on the red button, and there you go, it lights up. Now, fit and finish out of the box, this thing feels sweet. I love the way it feels in the hand. It's just a good feeling saw. It reminds me a lot of the Makita 40 volt as far as fit, finish, that sort of thing. Also the Milwaukee or even Festool level. Like, it is really nice. The plunge action's nice and smooth. There's a lot of features built in we're fixing to dive into. Putting the battery in, even the 9 amp hour battery, which is fairly weighty. 9 amp hour batteries are usually kind of heavy. It's balanced well, even with that bigger battery. It's kind of surprising. With the regular 4 amp hour battery, it's really well balanced. Very little weight on the left side. And overall, it just feels good. Now, first power up, see what she sounds like. Smooth. Sounds pretty powerful. We have a soft start and a blade brake, so you're not going to have any harsh start or stops. That's awesome. As far as features go, we can see one of the features that no other track saw has, at least to my knowledge, and I've tested over 15 or 16 at this point. Not this. This is a nice little splinter guard drop down. This will help with dust collection as well, but it is meant for a splinter guard typically, and you just adjust that to whatever thickness of wood or wherever you're cutting that at. This is a feature that no other track saw has, at least from the OEM. You can get these arbor covers from different places, usually 3D printed. I have several as well for most all of my track saws if you've seen them, but this does make a big difference for dust collection. So I'm glad to see that Hilti went ahead and included this. Now this was just a door. It swings open and closed, so you don't have to take it on and off, so you don't worry about losing it or breaking it if you have to take it on and off too many times. This just swings open, pops closed. This is also a variable speed saw, so you can dial up or down the speeds however you need it. Dust collection, there is a port on the back that will rotate, and the Festool hose fits in there perfectly, which I always appreciate. Now, as far as dust collection, they claim something like practically dust-free, nearly dust-free. I'll pop up the exact language they use. It's almost like they're saying it should be mostly dust-free. We're gonna find out, maybe this will help. As far as the bevel adjustment, it works really good. It's smooth all the way over to 45. There is hard stops at 0 degrees and 45 degrees. You can go up to 47 and down to -1, but the way you do that's a little cumbersome in my opinion versus some of the competitors. There's a push button on the back. It's pretty stiff. You have to push on it and then it'll go over to 47 and then down same way to -1. You still have to push that really stiff push button on the back. For depth adjustment, this is a little pinch style move. It moves really smoothly, surprisingly. A lot of these pinch styles I've had a little trouble sticking with, but this works really smooth. This is 1 millimeter increments as well, so you can really fine tune the depth if you needed to there. It does have an inch scale on one side and a millimeter on the other. There's also an indicator right there, that plus and minus, plus being on the track, minus being off the track. So if you're not gonna use it on the track, you're gonna use it as a standard circular saw, which you can, then you would just use the minus and you would know where your depth's at. Another cool feature that this saw has that not many others have, I think one other track saw that I've used has this feature, and that is you don't have to use different tracks for either 0 degree cuts or 45 or bevel cuts. A lot of track saws, when you turn it to bevel, it recuts your splinter guard. This doesn't do that, because when you tilt it over, if you'll notice, the little red part kind of pushes out away from the base. It's offsetting the blade so that you don't have to worry about recutting or cutting into your splinter guard that's already zeroed out. And if you don't know, when you get a track saw, the first cut you make on a new track, it basically zero clearances the blade out to the track on that splinter guard. So having this feature is really good because you can use the same track for bevel cuts and 90 degree or 0 degree cuts. And that third feature no other track saw has, we'll save for later. Now if you want to change the blade, you're just going to flip this part up. That's going to lock it in place and expose the arbor nut there. It wasn't immediately obvious to me how to lock the arbor. I thought for a second it was going to be more like that Vevor track saw that doesn't lock. I think that's what it was. And it's very difficult to change the blade. But upon looking at this manual that didn't really tell me anything either, I figured out that if you push the button on top right here, this is the arbor lock button, which makes sense. And now I can change that blade without it rotating, which is kind of neat. Now there is no scribe cutting feature on this. In other words, a preset lock where you could just go and scribe, but really, honestly, it's not that huge of a deal because several other track saws don't have that. You just set it to where it's just below your track, same thing. Although it is nice to have a scribe cutting, just quick setting, but it's also not a deal breaker. Now, a couple of competitors have a few features this don't have, and we'll talk about that when we compare them head to head. But first, I do want to put this to the test. We're going to cut some hardwood, we're going to cut some plywood and see how it performs. And see if their claim of virtually dust-free or whatever the wording was is true. Now, the batteries have a phone symbol on the end. What that's for is Hilti Connect. If you have that app, you can touch that to the battery or your phone to the battery with the app open. That app will tell you information about the manufacturer date, any repair date, or if you need to get it serviced or anything like that, which they have a unique service program, which we'll touch on in a few. It's not as detailed as, say, the Festool app, which gives you all sorts of information like hours used on the tool, or even the Bosch app where you can change settings, things like that with the Bosch track saw, which I thought was really cool. But it is there if you want to use it. On the base of the saw, while well made, very nice, sturdy feeling saw. I don't see any anti-kickback unless it's built in. I don't think it is, but there's also no anti-tip, which I really like to see on saws. Festool doesn't do it either, but it would be nice if they did. Does Makita? I don't think so. Maybe it's only Milwaukee and a few others. As far as guide rails go, I did go ahead and pick up the Hilti version. I wasn't 100% sure if it was a standard track style. In other words, like Milwaukee, Festool, Makita, that sort of track style, more common. But it is. That was a relief because it will work on the Makita track or the Milwaukee track or the PowerTech tracks. Any of the standard tracks should be good with this. But if you want the Hilti branded one, it is a nice track, nice grippy bottom and just well made. It is a bit wider than the others, but only to the left of the saw, which I guess gives it a little more, I don't know. I don't know why it's wider, it just is. All right, during the first cut, I accidentally left these thumb screws loose. on the ends for the bevel cut. So I need to make sure to snug those up and make another cut. And I want to check the bigger battery too to see if there's any power differences. All right, making the second cut on walnut, perfectly smooth. Plenty of power to power through this walnut without any issues, and the cut come out dead square, dead accurate, so we're not having any deflection or anything like that. It's a really nice cutting saw, and it's very powerful. I would put it on the same power line as the 40-volt Makita or even the DeWalt 60-volt. As far as cutting plywood goes, absolutely zero issues here. Made really good cuts, and went with the grain on the first cut with the lower tooth count blade, so the 24 tooth blade meant for ripping. Still really clean cut. And then I changed the blade over to the 54 tooth and made a cut across the grain a couple of times, and zero issues there as well. Really nice, crisp, clean cuts. Now, as far as dust collection goes, referring to the actual description on Hilti's website, it says virtually dust-free sawing, optimize dust and wood chip capture to reduce harmful dust, inhalation, and save time on cleanup. The dust collection is good, don't get me wrong, but it's also not amazing. You can still see the dust coming off the cut. So when you say virtually dust-free, I'm expecting virtually dust-free and not having a little bit of that flying around. It's really good. It's on par with some of the best dust collection I've seen with Milwaukee, Festool, Makita, but it's not virtually dust-free in my opinion. I went ahead and bought the edge guide to go with this as well. So if you're making repeatable cuts, this will help just basically give you an offset. The only thing here is it's really cumbersome to put on the saw. At first, I didn't realize I had to tilt it over. That was on me. It took me about 5 minutes to realize that, but that makes you feel dumb. Then you tilt it over and it's a little bit easier to get on there, but these thumb screws are just wonky. It's very, very hard to get this thing on there, and I just think it could be better. I'm not a fan, and there's only a few teeth or a few of the threads that start the thumb screw. So once you start trying to loosen it off so you can move it, they pop off and then you start over again. It's kind of a cumbersome experience, but it is there if you need it. I am glad the accessory's there. Probably just use it without the springs and it would probably work a little better. As far as the guide rail goes, you have to buy this separate. There's no kit or anything like that. So if I was doing this over again and knowing what I know now, honestly, I would just pick up the Makita track. I think Makita makes the best track out of all of them. Everything just glides really smooth on there because of these strips they have on top, and it just works. And it's a little more sticky on the bottom. This one isn't as quite as sticky. The Hilti one will slip around a little bit if you don't have clamps. I just use micro jig track clamps. They work really good. They're really quick squeeze clamps. They just work. And so that's what I used on the Hilti. Again, Makita makes a better track. Milwaukee makes a better track. Festool makes a better track. Hilti's track's not the greatest, in my opinion. If you're looking at the Hilti track saw, you're probably looking at the other top contenders. Festool, Milwaukee, Makita, maybe even Bosch, Mafell, that sort of thing. Now, previously I've done a video on the 15 most popular track saws that you could buy, and I ranked them from worst to first. And these are 3 of them that come out on top: the Festool, Milwaukee, Makita. Makita in a couple of different versions, actually. So where does Hilti rank in that tier system? Well, I do think it goes in the S tier. It's in a better tier than most track saws are going to be able to accomplish based on the features that we saw today, including the arbor cover, including the dust collection, the power, accuracy, everything you want is here. The build quality, it's just a really well-made saw. But how does it stack up against these competitors? And which one's right for you? First, this is a cordless track saw. So if you're looking for a corded track saw, I always recommend this one. This is the best corded track saw you can buy, in my opinion, in most cases for most people. This is the Makita. It's about $500 and some odd change dollars. It's a little over $500, but it's well worth the price if you want a really good quality track saw without having to worry about another battery platform and getting the Makita track. It's just nice. But if you are looking for a cordless track saw, which one of these is right for you? Well, that depends. First, I like the Milwaukee. I think it's a very good track saw for a lot of people. Because it's on the M18 platform, there's a ton of other tools in that battery system. This is one of the best track saws that I own, and I love it. I love how the adjustment works, the little push button up and down. The bevel adjustment's extremely smooth, and this does have anti-tip, so that does help on those bevel cuts, especially if you just let go of the saw, it won't just fall over. Plus, it has plenty of power to do whatever you're going to want to do with it. It's a fantastic saw. I've had it for a couple years, never been disappointed. But what about the Festool? Well, the Festool does offer some options that others don't, including the anti-kickback that they do have. This feature that if you do get a kickback, it shuts the motor off. It's a great technology. This is an amazing saw as well. I've had my fanboy cards revoked. I've had my Milwaukee fanboy card revoked for picking tools over them. So I don't think that they're the best for everybody, but it is a very good saw. Again, the adjustment on this one's also a one push button up and down. Very easy to adjust. The bevel adjustment's second to none, really, especially with that pinpoint accuracy there. It's just a really good saw if you like Festool. I personally think the best cordless track saw I have ever used is the Makita 40 volt. I think that is one of the best. It is S plus tier. It's above all the other ones because of the power, the features that it has, the adjustments. It's just a great overall saw. So where does the Hilti come in? I have been very impressed with the Hilti right out of the gate. I didn't have any expectations. I haven't used Hilti in 30 years, since 1995. So it's been a very long time since I've touched a Hilti tool. The quality is still there. It's a good quality tool. And one thing it beats all of these competitors in, the last feature that I had mentioned, is it has a 20-year warranty on this tool, which is mind-blowing. The only thing that beats that is the Rigid, which has the lifetime service agreement, but the Rigid has a proprietary track system, so you can't use track accessories that are most common for Makita, Festool, that sort of thing. And speaking of the warranty, they have a 1-day turnaround on repairs, which I thought was pretty dang good. I've not seen that from anybody else. If there is, please drop them in the comments, other brands. I think that's a good service option. And if you're a professional and you're looking for industrial level tools or pro level tools, that's going to matter to you more than some of these other brands offer. And Hilti is known for their quality and being pro grade. So if you're looking for that line of tools, I think this Hilti will be great for you. It's not without its quirks. The dust collection is not 100% dust free, but it is equally as good as any of these others. Really the only thing that kind of bugged me a little bit about the saw was the bevel adjustment, trying to get it past 45 or below 0. That little push button's a little sticky. And I wish it had anti-tip or some type of anti-kickback. Other than that, it's a really good saw. And in the past, I have complained that there was no riving knife on certain ones. The Milwaukee has a riving knife and several others, but the Makita and the Festool do not. And it really hasn't been that big of a deal to me, as much as I originally thought. The one thing I think will keep a lot of people from buying this is a few things I think Hilti will, I hope, correct moving forward, and that is having a combo kit with the battery, the charger, the saw, and the track. That would be nice, because right now you kind of have to piece it yourself, try to figure it out. They just haven't got that mapped out yet. Where Milwaukee or Makita or even Festool come with complete kits that you can buy, I hope Hilti does that as well. As far as pricing goes, it's a higher price saw, just like Festool, Milwaukee, or even Makita. So it is in that price range depending on the options that you buy with it as far as battery size and that sort of thing. I'll link to everything that I bought in the description, the pinned comment. That way you can go check it out for yourself and decide if this saw is right for you. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this saw, and hit that subscribe button if you like this type video. If you like this video and you'd like to see the ranking of those 15 track saws from worst to first, go check it out. Click that box, click in the box, get you the big old virtual fist bump.